Hi, and good morning. Nick Struan here from Perth in Western Australia. The title of today's video, I thought, is I need to lose weight. Where do I start? I mean, that's always a problem, isn't it? You know, when you sort of have decided you're going to do something, then to think, well, where am I going to start? You know, what should I do first, and where am I going with this, right? And I've just sort of jotted down a few points there. Remember that I'm on the same journey as you are, and I may have started a little bit earlier, but nevertheless, I'm still in there in the trenches, if you like, and still have a few more kilos to get rid of, right? So, what is my goal? My goal is to get back to where I was before. You know, my ideal weight. And if you don't know your ideal weight, well, you can sort of roughly look at your height, right? Like I'm about 186 or something like that. I should be weighing about 85 to 90 kilos, all depending on my frame. And my frame is heavy set, as you can see. So, you know, I could probably lean towards the 90, but I was weighing 110, right? And that's far too much for me. It puts too much pressure on my knees. And also, of course, you know, I got the big belly and all that sort of stuff that's getting in the way and is very unhealthy because of the visual fat, right? Okay, so, you know, just understand that I'm on the same journey as you are, and perhaps we can move a bit together here. But first of all, I think we need to just be honest with ourselves, and this is point one, to recognize that we do have a problem. It's like the you know, AA club, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, right? You know, we have to recognize, hey, you know, I do have a problem, right? We cannot live in denial and say, you know, yeah, it's only a few pounds, and you know, we joke it off, and when people make a comment that hurts, you know, then, oh yeah, you know, I'll get over it and no problem, right? So, but let's just recognize that we do have a problem, and it's a serious problem, and it affects ourselves, it affects our children, it affects our environment, you know, in so many different ways that it's not funny, right? So let's just recognize the fact that, you know, now, you know, we have a problem and we're going to do something about it, you know. If you still want to bury your head in the sand, hey, look, no problem at all. It's up to you. It's your life and your decision. So, but then probably this video is not for you, right? So, but anyway, let's look at if you have decided that you're going to do something about it, and you know, some of the ways that I have found to work very well. And I have tried many things before, and none has done anything to me, right? Now, I remember going to the doctor one day, and he said, you know, look, Nick, you really need to lose some weight. And I said, look, I would if I knew how to do it. And he looked at me and he said, just lose some weight. Don't eat so much. I said, what? What are you talking about? You know, because I've been trying to eat, you know, very little. And in fact, my mother, she eats like a pigeon, and she's still, you know, she's maintaining her weight. She's 87 years old. She's maintaining her weight, but that's all. She's not losing any, and she just eats like anything. So there's more to it. This is what I'm saying, that, and you're going to understand that it's not your fault, right? You know, we can blame some of the things on other people. We can blame it on the manufacturer for putting all the sugar and stuff. Because what happens there is that you know, they put the chemicals in there, the taste chemicals, right? But that got banned, and so instead they put a lot of sugar in and a lot of salt in, right? So, you know, that MSG, you probably remember it, right? So MSG is now banned in Australia, at least, but the manufacturer, not to be outdone, they just made up for it in, you know, in sugar and salt, right? Which is the taste agent, okay? So yeah. So that's the number one there. Just recognize that we do have a problem and we need to do something about it. Number two is do your research, yeah? Don't listen to other people. People don't know, you know, and everybody is different. Everybody's different. So, you need to do your own research and do your own, understanding of how it impacts on you. But just even the experts, don't trust the experts, because the experts, can be wrong. I mean, for years we've been told to not eat fatty stuff, and animal fats and all stuff is bad for you, and now they come and say that it's not actually bad for you, but and you do need the cholesterol. So that's after you're taking stanton tablets for like 5 years, right? Which is so bad for you, right? So get off these tablets and get back to the real thing. Now I do have in the description here, I do have a free report for you, and the reason why you should look at that free report is that you need to understand about these things, because knowledge is power, right? You need to get the right information from the right people. How do we know what the right information is, and how do we know who's the right people? Well, we don't. That's the problem. So, you need to what I do is I read a lot, and I compare then the information that I get. I compare that, and I look for similarities, and I look for things that they all agree on, right? And I do a lot of research, and that's that's one of the things that will benefit you by reading this report, because that will give you an idea about where things are at the moment. Okay, the third advice I can give you is don't tell anyone, right? Like very few people have got people who are really, really concerned about your weight loss, right? So by telling them that you're gonna get the snide remarks, and you're gonna get the little funny jokes, and look, you're not casting a shadow anymore, right? And it's hurtful no matter which way it looks at. So don't tell anybody, and just work on it on your own. Be your own taskmaster, so to speak, right? Now, the next thing is, there's a saying like plan your work and work your plan. And that's so important, that you say, well, what are you going to do? Of course, you get a lot of that information coming from the free report that I have for you. But also, how does that apply to you, and how does that fit into your lifestyle? So you need to sort of plan your day and see when you're going to do stuff, and how you're going to work it, okay? So that's the next step to that one there. And also, the most important thing is that you must monitor yourself, right? Don't just leave it in your head, because what you got in the head is so many other things that are pushing to get in there. Write a list and stick it on a piece of paper, and stick it on the wall, and tick it off when you're done what you're supposed to do. Be consistent. That track record, that ability to look at the wall and say, oh, look, I've done it the whole week now, man. Oh, you're great. That's what I do, and that's what you need to do too. You need to be accountable, and you need to be persistent. You just keep going no matter what. And then you need to be consistent. You need to do whatever you've said you're going to do. You need to do that every single day, right? No excuses, right? And if you do find yourself like really, really wanting something, and you're not supposed to eat that cupcake, then put it off, right? We are great at that. We put everything off, and people also put us up all the time, Can we meet on Monday? Oh, no, look, next week. How about I pick up, the books on Friday? Oh, no, next week, right? Can I see you tomorrow? Oh, no. So just put yourself up. We're used to it, right? So, you get this urge to have this cupcake and this piece of chocolate. You say, okay, yeah, great. Look, I'll have it. It's not that I can't have it. I'll have it, in a couple of hours, right? I won't have it right now. And the chances are you forget it. That's how I gave up smoking. I just kept putting it off, right? I said, yeah, I can have a cigarette if I want to. I'll have one later. And then I forgot about it, and that period of forgetfulness just became longer and longer, and eventually I would sort of sit 6 or 8 hours later and say, good, I haven't had a cigarette for the last 8 hours. Wow. And I feel so great, and I wish I could pass that on to you, that, this is a great technique. Just put it off. If your thinking stinks a bit, just also do the same there. It's called the U-boat technique, right? You know how when a U-boat goes down and dives, the captain says, dive, and then you hear this bell, dude, dude, dude. You can use the same thing. I learned this years ago. You can use the same thing in your mind, right? You can send out alarm bells when you recognize that you are thinking bad. But the sure way to know that you're thinking bad is that you feel unhappy. Okay, so then immediately change it, right? And start thinking about something that's going to make you happy, right? When you do that, that becomes a habit too. And eventually you won't even think about it, you just do it. So everything applied consistently will become a habit too. At the moment we have a habit that says, let's get up in the morning and then let's stuff our face with whatever we can find. Let's get to lunchtime and do the same thing again, and the evening time, and then the nighttime and whatever. And we put all this stuff on and we don't really know why, because it's just a habit. Okay, so you're going to change that habit, but that's not always so easy. But if you're consistent and persistent, it will just gradually move ahead. Don't set your target too fast. Give yourself 12 months to lose, the 20 kilos or whatever you got overweight. If you got more than that, give yourself 2 years, 3 years, right? It took you 10 years to put it on, right? It's not going to sort of just happen. All this, lose weight overnight stuff is, for the first, I would think that it's not very healthy, for your body. And I certainly have not been able to do that, right? In any, way, fashion, or shape, right? I mean, if you've got a belly fat that sticks out over your belt there, it's going to take a bit of time, okay? So, but time is what you got. And though it may take some time, think about the time that you will be saving yourself spent in hospital later, right? That's way more important, right? And also your kids. Look at your kids' diet, okay? You are their examples. You are their master of ceremony for them, right? And don't give in. Misguided love is the love that says, oh, you can do anything to yourself, darling, as long as you love mama, right? And of daddy, right? But come on, the kids look for you for advice. They're not your friends. They're your kids. You need to guide them. You need to steer them in the right direction. They may not always want to listen to you, but if you haven't got it in your house, and then you can't give it to them. So it's very simple. Don't buy it. Don't get into the pressure of them saying, oh, mommy, I need this, or daddy, I need that, or whatever, and you just, oh yeah, I don't want to argue with you, I don't want you to cry, and all this sort of stuff. That's just plaything for kids. They're testing you to see whether your resolve is on track, whether you are someone they can trust and rely on. So when you give in their mind, it just says, I have to listen to myself, because I can't trust anybody telling me the right thing. They don't believe it themselves, so why should I believe it? And you set up this problem in your kid's mind already, right? So remember that kids equates discipline with love. Discipline. I don't say beat your kids up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they equate discipline with love. They like routine. They like, this is what's happening, this is what we're doing, right? And there's no arguments to that. And if you can install that in the kids, they will follow it. My kid never had sweets when she was young, when she was a kid. She always had apples and fruit and stuff. We never bought fruit, sweets at all, because what for? And she never misses it. Never, even to this day. When she's, a lot older now, she never eats it, right? It's not, she hasn't got a sweet tooth, at all, right? So that's something for you to, to think about there, if you are not already doing that. I may be preaching to the converted here, but I do apologize for that. But some people may need to hear this message as I put it forward, okay? So the next and the last thing is, the result. Just sit back and watch the result and become happy. right? Start booking your cruise and your holidays, and go and organize your clothes. What are you going to buy when you can actually fit your normal clothes again? And how are you going to look when you get into the office? And you know, everybody is sort of like thinking, God, my God, what happened? What happened? You know, and that will happen. People will start, you know, recognizing the fact that you're losing weight, and you say, "Oh, I don't think so," until it's so obvious that nobody can object to it. Then you can say, "Yeah, I've lost a little bit." Yeah. Rather than that, then jump on the scale and be disappointed, and then run out and tell everybody, "Oh God, I've lost some weight," and they look at you and says, "Where?" You know, you know. So just stay real and stay on the plan, and you know, map yourself out and get the feedback, and plan yourself and checklists, and you know, if you do that, that shows you're serious about it, and sooner or later, you know, it's going to happen for you. But the first step is to read that free report. All right, you'll find a link somewhere along the line there, and just, you know, have a good look at it, and see whether it's something that can help you. I will continue to you know, record these videos here and talk to you about these things. And if you have anything that you want to ask me about, or if I can help you in any way whatsoever, you know, just let me know. But give me a link and a share and a like and a subscribe, and I hope to see you very soon again with the results. Okay, come on. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye for now.